if healthy. Like, his problem's been he's not healthy. And I think their tight ends, I know Mark Andrews dropped that huge pass, but their tight ends are good. I think
Likely's their best tight end.
Yeah, and so I think that makes up for it. And they have the best run game, obviously, in the league. It's not just Henry. Obviously, it's Lamar, too. So I think that makes up for it. So I'm not worried about the receiver.
You mentioned the kicker. This is a great stat from Pro Football Rumors. 91% of the made field goals in Ravens history are Stover or Justin Tucker. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense because the Ravens don't count the Browns' history, so they've only been around.
Just Ravens purple.
Yeah.
So now you got a new kicker, Tyler Loop.
Yeah,
we'll see.
And again,
rookie, who knows?
Tucker, and it's weird.
And Jake Elliott's pretty good for Philly. Like, he's pretty reliable.
No doubt.
Two Super Bowls he's been.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
So that again.
The Chiefs have a great kicker. Like the other team, like
killer weapon all the time.
That's huge for the Chiefs.
Yes, and it's huge. It historically has been huge for Baltimore.
So we'll see. Stay in the AFC. Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen carried their squads to top 5 placements, but Josh gets the edge here, coming in at 4, Chiefs at 5. Full list, full top 5: Ravens, Eagles, Lions, Bills, and Chiefs. Are you okay with Buffalo being ahead of Kansas City, Nick?
No. Right. How did the Bills all of a sudden get markedly better this offseason in ways the Chiefs didn't, when the Chiefs have been clearly the better team, I don't know, the last lack of a better term, dozen years? I don't know. And the Bills were not better last year when the Chiefs had the most injured skill position group in the league. Now, obviously, you can't predict injuries moving in, but it would be rare for a team, to have back-to-back worst injury luck at the same spot. Kansas City, in my opinion, addressed their lone weakness, which was the offensive line, and they doubly addressed it the left tackle spot by signing Jalen Moore as a just in case we can't draft the guy in the first round, and then drafting Josh Simmons. So they will have that there. They are, even with Rashee Rice looking at a suspension, going to, again, barring injury, which is the case for everyone, be better at wide receiver this year than they were last year. They will be better at running back than they were last year because Pacheco missed almost the entirety of the year with a broken leg. And the answer that I think people would have is, well, the Bills have a better defense. And my answer is, no, they don't. Because the Buffalo Bills, every single year, have a really good defense until the games matter, and then the defense. And this is where Josh kind of should get more of a pass than maybe he does, because in their playoff losses, the Sean McDermott defense has given up 32, 27, 27, 42, 38. That's the last 5 years. That's 33 points per game. And so I think the Chiefs and Bills defense in the regular season is going to be around equal. And then in the postseason, the Chiefs defense has a defensive scheme and defensive personnel that get better, and the Bills don't. The Bills have a better running game. There's no doubt about it. And the offensive line that goes along with it. I think the Chiefs are better across. I think they have better receivers, better tight end, better kicker, better quarterback. I think the defense is better. Certainly the best defensive player. So, no, I'm not okay with Buffalo ahead of Kansas City.
Well, first of all, having Kansas City 6th.
Fifth. They were 5th.
Or they're 5th?
Yeah.
Is a huge credit to Mahomes and Andy Reid. Because I think these same people would have Kansas City as either the first or second best team in the league, I would think.
Oh.
And so you're saying Mahomes and Reid are carrying a roster that they don't think is as good as some of these other ones. But I agree. I think Kansas City should be ahead of Buffalo. Remember, last year, I didn't think Buffalo was a contender going into the season. I thought they'd make the playoffs, but not have a legit chance to get to the Super Bowl. They've added some things. I think the receiving thing is closer than you. Now, I project Xavier Worthy to be better than any receiver on Buffalo.
Rashee Rice,
but right now, and Rice when he's back.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of, sort of having him out right now. Hollywood Brown, obviously, we'll see what he does, but he's a pretty good player. But there are some projecting Shakir to have another even better season, and then Keon Coleman. So receiver, I like Kansas City better, but I can see how you could say maybe that's a wash. Like you said, running game, you got quarterback for Kansas City. But the best defensive player is Chris Jones on either team. Then you got Trent McDuffie as well.
And the Bills' secondary concerns me,
right.
like it did last year. Like they had a really, really rough time. I know they tried to address it. Maybe they did. But their safety position was one of the weakest spots in the whole league last year. And so, like, I don't look at the Chiefs' defense as there isn't defensive line, linebacker, secondary. It's like, ooh, that's a glaring weakness. And so I don't understand. And again, I was higher on Buffalo than most last year. I don't understand what has happened. Do we all agree last year the Chiefs were better than the Bills? They had a better regular season. They played in the playoffs. They beat them. Yeah. I don't know what's happened between last year and this year that makes you think Buffalo has overcome it.
Some people might feel like some of the guys that were injured last year defensively will be healthy this year. But Milano gets hurt a lot. As great as he is, he gets hurt a lot. So I'm with you on that.
All right, finally, near the middle of the pack, the Cowboys start training camp today in Oxnard, coming in at 18th best starting lineup. Now they're behind the Cardinals, ahead of the Steelers, behind the Bears, Chargers, and ahead of the Seahawks as well. Biggest weakness, Brew, this is what the article said, running back. There wasn't a tough choice for a team that hasn't prioritized the position recently.
That's huge, and I agree that you guys know. I've been saying their running backs haven't gained 4 yards a game. The two that they're counting on, Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, haven't run for 4 yards a carry since 2022. All right, and Dak, I think, needs to be his most effective, needs a strong run game. This is not bad, though. It's, 19th? I would have Pittsburgh, or 18th.
18th. You're always one off.
I think it's because of how it was labeled in the thing. It looked like they were off.
I would have Pittsburgh ahead of them. And the only other two teams, I wouldn't put Miami ahead of them, but Miami was like the only other team.
What about a team that might have a total unicorn, one of the most transformative rookies in the history of the league? Is going to play both sides of the ball.
Really?
Probably as the better quarterback of the group and the better receiving group of the group.
Trevor?
I'm just saying. I mean, maybe
I can't put him ahead.
This question's a bit of a trap.
Why?
This is a nice, late July topic that we should really pin you to some of this stuff. Sure.
He just said Trevor's better than Dak.
let's put the Jags up super high.
Not super high.
So when they falter,
right?
No,
who wears it?
No.
Or when
if
Trevor
they falter this year, Trevor's got to wear it. I'm not. You think you're gonna trick me into things I haven't considered as far as argument styles?
Cowboys.
It's
15th.
not gonna happen.
Cowboys above average roster. I don't want to hear it.
Hold on. What
Not Cowboys. I'm sorry, Bears.
Oh, I agree with that too.
Were they 15? Yeah, 15.
Brew wanted to call the Bears 16th. I'm sure.
I do think I saw something different. I was going to say 16.
You're off by one on all of them. No, listen. This is where an 8-9 or 9-8 team should be. Here's the question I have for you, Brew. We're talking about the Cowboys right now. I actually think, and we don't, thankfully, do fantasy football talk on this show.
Why say thankfully?
I just don't enjoy that. I think that I like that when I'm opting into specific. We don't do poker talk on the show either.
What are we talking about? We did
but regardless, I think all of what we're discussing could lead to a great fantasy football year for Dak.
Agreed.
A la 2019. When they were a 500 team, he almost threw for 5,000 yards. He had 30 touchdowns because I don't think they're going to have a great defense. They're not going to have a reliable running game. I think they are going to allow a lot of points and be in shootouts. And now, as long as Pickens is out there, you're going to have two viable weapons on the outside, one great player in CD and one very talented guy. So I think it actually could lead to big numbers for Dak Prescott. But I thought this article, albeit, it's brief write-ups on each team because you're doing all 32 teams, Wilds, but I thought they got to real potential issues, which is the right side of the offensive line. They are hoping will be good. Now, it might be, but it's still a rookie right guard and Booker playing for them. They have major questions across the defense, particularly on the back end of the defense, given the injuries on the front seven. And it is, I don't know, bottom 4 running back room in the league as far as what guys have proven, or your optimism for it. So, but you do have a good quarterback, a superstar receiver, offensive-minded head coach. You have things that you would think are going to lead to...
And a pretty good number 2.
Right.
It's going to be explosive.
Right. The passing offense working even if the team is not... is compared to those couple years ago.
I think that would be great for Dak personally. If he had a Joe Burrow-esque season.
But he's had that before.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I think that would be good for him because no one talks about Dak has fallen out of the even like elite quarterback conversation.
Oh, yeah.
You can make a top 10.
Well, he's somewhere
Part of it fluid. It is,
it's
but
fluid.
even as it's fluid, it is fluid. He's on the backside of fluid.
But here's the thing. Dak is 2-5 in the playoffs.
Right.
That's what hurts Dak. And he hasn't played that well in the playoffs. Joe Burrow, because you said the Joe Burrow type season, he's still riding off beating Mahomes in the playoffs. Yeah, and he's also riding off being one of the few that's beating Mahomes in the playoffs. So that's why I think there's such a difference there. And Dak, if they go 9-8 and Dak has these huge numbers, you think that's great for him? I mean, it's better, maybe a little better for him, but we saw him average almost 400 yards a game when this short season got hurt.
Yeah.
They were 2-3. Like, he can put up numbers, but...
Let me make an argument for it. When they're 13-3,
13 wins.
They go into that home playoff games, so much pressure. And Dak gets a little bit nervous, and you can see it in his play. You see the whole building feels nervous. If they're 9-8
and sneak into the playoffs,
playoffs on the road, I feel like we might get the best
you're saying
playoff Dak.
9-8 and make the playoffs.
Okay,
That's
playoff Dak, who threw for a ton of yards, a ton of touchdowns, 9-8, sneak in. Oh, I got to go to Tampa Bay.
I do think, Josh,
but that game against Green Bay, he was at home.
No,
I get it. There was pressure, but come on, they hadn't lost at home in what, 2 years or something like that?
I think Dak's first. And Josh, if I'm wrong on this, it'll be embarrassing, but tell me. I think Dak's first career playoff win came a year kind of what you're describing, which was the Amari Cooper year. The year they traded for Amari.
He didn't win a playoff game as a rookie?
No, because they got the bye. I know they didn't because they got the bye and lost the Classic to Green Bay. That they started poorly, traded for Amari, snuck into the playoffs at the end, I think at 10 wins, and then
Josh is saying you're correct.
Okay, and beat, I want to say Seattle, but I could be wrong who they beat. Regardless,
they beat Seattle.
I think it was Seattle. I think you do know that. I think he knows it. Like, I don't know, maybe Seattle. Oh, am I right?
The Seattle.
Right?
That's one of his strategies, you know.
Wait till Weird and Wonderful.
Maybe
Wait till you see what I do on Weird and Wonderful.
Hold on.
What's that?
Hold on a second.
Is that home run number 560 for Aaron Judge? Oh, 561?
Hold on a second. I promise everything that I asked Josh to check, I wasn't sure. I was doing from memory. The Seattle thing, once he confirmed the other two, I was pretty sure I was right against it. But regardless, point being, we've kind of seen that where there wasn't the weight of expectations going into the game. So I might buy that. Yeah. But I agree with Bruce's point, which is the only way for Dak to tangibly move his standing in the league is postseason performance.
Yeah. But can he get one? Just one game.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Would be happy.
Huge numbers, one playoff win.
Yeah, that would be.
Because it would look if they're 9-8, that playoff win would be
on the road.
Yeah.
It'd be an upset.
So
that'd be something.
Because Nick's right, and when he said